Yeah. Hair flip. Yeah, I'm a badass bitch. I don't like it. Hair flip. Yeah. Oh my god. So you guys should be happy. Oh my goodness. Hair flip. But anyways, hair flip. And hair flipping on these hoes. Hi.
Boy is still missing this morning. His mother was killed and her suspected killer has been found dead by suicide.
Amelia Jones is staying on top of this developing story for us this morning. Joining us from outside of Milwaukee Police headquarters downtown. Amelia, investigators are trying to find any clues that could locate this boy.
They really are, and we'll get to those details on a car that police want people to be aware of. But the latest information into this investigation is that police actually went to the home of the suspected killer, 20-year-old Jaheim Clark, Sunday afternoon. The home located at 31st and Custer. Police say they were there about 15 minutes when they heard gunshots from inside the home. And when they went inside, they found Clark dead. Clark is suspected of killing Mallory Monsenberger Thursday morning near 37th and Clark. An Amber Alert went out for her 3-year-old son, Major Harris, Saturday. The boy, as of this morning, is still missing. He was not found with Clark. The child's family pleading for his safe return when Fox 6 spoke to them over the
investigation in finding Major P. Harris. Major's mother, Mallory, passed away last Thursday due to the hand of her boyfriend, and her child has been missing ever since. At the time that she was slain by the hands of this man, Jaheim, her son was present. Her son is now missing. No one can find poor little Major. So we need as much help as we can to identify and locate where he is. He is 3 years old. I'm sure he's so scared and has no idea what's going on. His father is asking the community as well as other family members to help them locate this beautiful little boy. So if anybody has any information, please, there's going to be plenty of contact information throughout this video and phone numbers, and I will post them at the end of this video. If you know anything about Major P. Harris, please report it to your local authorities as soon as you can, like immediately. We need to locate this little boy. Onalaska, Wisconsin. The investigation into Mallory Monsenberger's death and search for her son Major Harris continues as the Onalaska Police Department shares more information about where they lived. On Monday, Chief Charles Ashbeck confirmed that Mallory and Major lived at the apartment complex on the corner of Quincy Street and 6th Avenue in Onalaska. Their apartment building is across the street from the Softball Fields Community Center and not far from the Onalaska Middle School. Chief Ashbeck hoped that sharing more information might inspire people who live in that area to call 911 or 608-781-9550. Again, that phone number is 608-781-9550. If they know where 3-year-old Major Harris is located or have details that may help find him. Quote, "We're operating on the possibility that Mallory may be left Major with somebody while she went to Milwaukee or something anywhere between here and Milwaukee," Chief Ashbeck said. So if anybody is watching this, child and just happens to turn on the news now, get a hold of your local authorities and alert us that you have Major. Estefany Lopez says she lives in the apartment above. Mallory and Major, she moved into the apartment 6 months ago and she had seen the mother and son passing, but never had spoke to them. When she came home on Friday, she said something seemed off. It's Stefany's quote. "When I came back from work, it was a lot of screaming and yelling, and it was just the little kid yelling," Lopez said. There was no parent yelling at him, telling him to shut up, calm down, or taking care of him. So I thought it was weird, so I just put my headphones in. When I took them out later that night, there was no yelling, no nothing, and it seemed like any other day. At the time, she wasn't aware of what happened in Milwaukee. She hopes Major is found safely as soon as possible. Chief Ashbeck said investigators searched Munzenberger's apartment on Saturday. He declined to say what, if anything, was found. Earlier on Monday, Milwaukee police found an SUV involved in Major's disappearance and Mallory's death. It was located near a residence where the person of interest in Munzenberger's homicide died Sunday of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Milwaukee police searched Monday for a 3-year-old boy after his mother was killed, and the man suspected in her slaying was found dead from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Major P. Harris has been missing since early Thursday, when authorities say someone found his mother, Mallory Munzenberger, 25, of Onalaska, dead in the backyard of a Milwaukee home. The medical examiner said her body had obvious signs of trauma. Police said Jaheim Clark, 20, of Milwaukee, was a person of interest in Munzenberger's death and a suspect in Major's disappearance, according to a Wisconsin Crime Alert Network bulletin. On Sunday evening, an Amber Alert update said Clark had been found. About 15 minutes after police arrived at the Milwaukee home where Clark was, police heard 2 gunshots from inside. Police went inside and found Clark with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, police said. He was pronounced dead and the medical examiner ruled it a suicide. In one report, police listed the home where Munzenberger was found as Major's last known location. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reported. In another, authorities said he was last seen October 9th on the way from La Crosse to Milwaukee. On Monday, the vehicle that Clark was driving was found in Milwaukee, and police said they were actively canvassing the area in an effort to find the boy. Several local, state, and federal agencies were helping with the search. Milwaukee police said that the vehicle they were looking for in connection to an Amber Alert for a missing 3-year-old boy was found Monday afternoon. Police said in a statement that a black 2008 Chevrolet Equinox that the person of interest, Jaheim Clark, was supposed to have been driving was found in the city of Milwaukee. The statement said that out of an abundance of caution, Milwaukee police will be actively canvassing the area as part of an ongoing and active multi-jurisdictional search to locate Major. WISN said the SUV was discovered in a parking lot on North Sherman Boulevard at West Village Street. Several police vehicles and investigators surrounded the vehicle. Evidence markers were visible on the ground and around the vehicle. The station also reported that the medical examiner's office had not been called to the scene. Later Monday afternoon, a number of police recruits arrived at the scene and began to canvass the area. The search by authorities continues for the 3-year-old update. The search by authorities continues for the 3-year-old son of an Onalaskan woman who was killed in Milwaukee last week. The Amber Alert continues for the search of Major Harris, the 3-year-old son of the 25-year-old Mallory M. Munzenberger. She was found around 6:30 a.m. in the backyard of a home in the 2600 block of North 37th Street in Milwaukee. According to the Milwaukee station WISN, police have not said why she and the child were in Milwaukee. Nor has Milwaukee police said they waited for more than 48 hours to issue the Amber Alert following the discovery of Munzenberger's body. The latest from the police said Harris was last seen Thursday morning A Facebook post on Saturday by the Milwaukee police said that Harris has last been seen on October 9th. This is the description of Harris provided by authorities. He's a black male, 3 feet in height and about 40 pounds in weight. He has brown eyes and black hair with 4 zigzag patterned shoulder-length dreadlocks. Harris was last seen wearing a dark blue t-shirt with a small pocket on the left side, navy blue Nike basketball shorts, and was barefoot. Authorities also said that he has a light complexion, a birthmark on his right buttock, and a small abrasion on his right cheek on his face. He also has a delayed speech. Poor thing. Police also are looking for a vehicle in the interest of the case, and it is a black 2008 Chevrolet Equinox bearing Wisconsin auto plates of ABE 2804. Milwaukee police on Monday found the vehicle of a suspect in the 3-year-old boy's disappearance and his mother's homicide, but did not find the boy. The discovery of the SUV and the ensuing search of a Northside neighborhood were the latest developments in a case that on Saturday prompted an Amber Alert for the child, Major P. Harris. And on Sunday saw the suicide of the suspect, 20-year-old Jaheen K. Clark. Clark was a suspect in the death Thursday of Major's mother, Mallory M. Munzenberger, 25, of Onalaska. Investigators found Clark's SUV behind a laundromat Monday, less than a mile from the house on North 41st Street, where he shot himself when police arrived to arrest him. Several dozen law enforcement personnel searched by dumpster, alley, and backyards for any sign of the child, while tens of thousands of people watched the ordeal unfold on Facebook live streams. The Amber Alert was still active as of late Monday afternoon, with both of his mother and the suspect now dead. Many questions remain about the circumstances of Munzenberger's death and Major's disappearance. 3 days before Clark killed himself, Munzenberger was found dead with obvious signs of trauma in the backyard of Clark's mother's home in the 2600 block of North 37th Street. Clark's mother found Munzenberger's body around 6 a.m. Thursday, according to the report from the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office. 3-year-old Major has been missing at least the time of his mother's death. Police listed the 37th Street address where she was found as Major's last known location in one report. In another, police said he was last seen October 9th en route from La Crosse to Milwaukee. Munzenberger's parents told WITI-TV Channel 6 they had never heard of Clark and they believed their daughter, an Onalaskan resident, had left town for Madison, not Milwaukee. Here is the timeline of the discovery. Someone called the police around 6 a.m. Thursday morning to report the discovery of a dead body on 37th Street, Milwaukee police said. The documents from the medical examiner indicate the caller was Clark's mother, and the body was found in her backyard. Although paramedics who had arrived at the scene performed life-saving measures, Munzenberger was pronounced dead roughly a half hour later by a doctor. Munzenberger's homicide case was initiated around 6:30 a.m., one of the times the police said Major was last seen. Found with obvious signs of trauma, according to the police, the body was unidentified at first. WITI-TV reports Munzenberger's father was asked to identify his daughter's body 2 days later, on Saturday. Several hours later on Saturday, the police issued an Amber Alert and said Major may be with Clark. Police said Clark might have been driving a 2008 black Chevrolet Equinox. They found the vehicle Monday behind a laundromat near North Sherman Boulevard and West Royal Avenue, less than a mile from the 41st Street location where Clark killed himself. Police said they were canvassing the area for Major out of an abundance of caution. At least 24 residents, spurred by police activity and buzz on social media, gathered outside the laundromat and watched as investigators inspected the vehicle and a tow truck took it away. Many residents who gathered said they were worried about the boy and wondered how something like this could happen. One woman known as Shavita Nicole on Facebook lives next to the laundromat and live streamed her vantage point, garnering 61,000 viewers and thousands of shares. Quote, "The baby wasn't in that truck, y'all, which is a good thing," she told her audience after the Equinox was towed away. She said she hoped the boy would be found safe and alive just walking around the neighborhood. Some who gathered outside the laundromat formed a prayer circle, asking for protection for Major. A few people asked the police aides if they could help with the search, and the aides politely declined. Community activist Von Mays, who was live streaming on Facebook from the scene, formed his own search party and asked viewers to join him at a nearby McGovern Park to look for the child. There was no official indication Major would be in the park, though word of mouth and Facebook live comment sections, rumors, and unconfirmed gossip spread quickly. Police described Major as thin, light-complexioned black child, approximately 3 feet tall and 40 pounds, with black hair in 4 shoulder-length zigzag braids. He has brown eyes and was last seen wearing a dark blue t-shirt with a small pocket on the left side, navy blue basketball shorts with no shoes or socks. So as of now, we're going to get into Von Mays just a little bit. He is an activist out of Milwaukee in Wisconsin. So I just want to shout him out, and I really appreciate him and these other beautiful black people getting together, showing black excellence and forming their own search parties to look for Harris, to look for this young boy. He's only 3 years old. Who knows where he is? It's a very scary situation. But instead of just sitting around talking about it, these wonderful black people got together and assembled a search party to look for them themselves. And they're also, Von is helping Major's father find Major. You know, so Major's father is completely involved. He wants to find his son. He's just as afraid as any other parent would be. So let's get a little bit into Von and his search party and the things that they have been doing.
Search further. I don't know. We'll try to figure that out. I don't know if that's an undercover or if that's because a lot of times in missing kid cases, like the feds do be involved. I don't know if the FBI is involved in this case or not, but a lot of times when you deal with like missing kids and stuff in these kind of situations, sometimes the federal officers will step in. So I'm not exactly sure if those are just Milwaukee undercovers, because this one, and they are like, did they just move? Hey, where'd that girl go? Oh.
What's in there?
That's a path. It's all like. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Matter of fact, if anybody can bring us, could go buy some flashlights and bring them out to us. We can use as many flashlights as we can. LED, like, you know, bright lights. It's 6:39, so a lot of these stores might not be open long.
Walmart,
but right now,
Walmart.
Menards,
Lowe's, Home Depot.
yeah,
Walmart.
any of them type of stores. Who the fuck is it? Just some white people? They just was up with us. They ran into the motherfucker. Okay.
They just out here walking.
All right.
Huh? What? No, they just said we can't. We hear y'all. Oh. They walking. Oh shit! I'm like, one if I can start running.
We are at what is it called?
Havenwood State Park.
Havenwood, out by Florist and Sherman. You hear them sirens? They said they searching in Dodge County too.
should be getting a video from the damn the laundromat.
So to give an analysis, Jaheim is the person that allegedly, committed a homicide against Mallory. Mallory's family had no idea of Jaheim. So I'm assuming that Jaheim's mother did not know much of Mallory. Mallory was allegedly slain at Jaheim's mother's home. Jaheim's mother is the one who found Mallory. When she found her in the backyard unresponsive, she called the police. The police came along with the paramedics and whatnot, first responders. They tried to resuscitate Mallory. She was gone. There was no child and there was also no Jaheim. So at this point in time, officers are assuming, and the parents of Mallory are assuming, that Mallory had Major Harris with her at that time. He was not with his father. Mallory also has 2 other children that were not with her at the time. So it's plausible why people think that Major may not have been with her either. But it's a strong possibility, since Major being the youngest, that he probably was with her. So with her being slain and Major being gone, and so is Jaheim, they find Jaheim in another city, which was not in Milwaukee, where he allegedly slayed her. So with them finding him in a different location, they're assuming that he took the child upon, his travel. Now, where I got confused is that the neighbor says Miss Lopez stated that she heard screaming and yelling, and there was a child that was screaming, and there was no adult telling him to be quiet or anything in that regard. Was this before or after Mallory went to Milwaukee? Although her family stated that she was supposed to be going to Madison. So did Jaheim, kidnap her, lure her? Maybe she bumped into him at a gas station or, something like that. I would definitely check the surrounding cameras at certain places to see why Mallory was there in the first place, because it doesn't seem as if she was supposed to be going to Milwaukee. She was allegedly supposed to be going to Madison, from what her family thought. So where was little Major when all of this was happening? Did Mallory drop him off to a friend or something? Which doesn't really sound that plausible as well, because nobody has reached out to say that they have Major. So I don't believe that Mallory would have just left him with anybody. I believe that Major probably 9 times out of 10 was with her. And when this neighbor stated that she heard, all of the screaming and yelling and the child being unattended to, was this after? So did Jaheim take Major to Mallory's apartment after he, did whatever he did to her, and Major was screaming, upset, crying because he didn't know where his mom was and things of that nature, didn't see any of his siblings or anything. He's with basically this stranger. And did he take Major somewhere or just leave him astray, abandon him in some area and no one knows exactly where he is? This is a very scary, thought. And then my mind draws back to, well, how did he know where she lived? And how do we even know that that was Jaheim in there when that argument was, taking place? Was he arguing on the phone? Was he arguing with her? There's just so many different, questions that have not been answered. So please keep Major in your prayers. I hope that he's fine. He's been missing since Thursday. Very sad case. I will definitely keep everybody updated on this. Thank you so much for watching. Prayers for, Mallory and her children and her family. I love you all. Until the next show. Bye.